I like this.
Yeah.
We are at the most exciting part of this whole cherry red project. Because we now get to assemble everything.
Yes.
We've been working for months, all the welding, all the painting, and then take it all apart, right, for painting. So now we've got it painted. We've got a little polishing more to do, and then put everything together. We've got to put glass in, put the interior in. Oh man, a lot of assembly. So what did we do yesterday? What are those things called? Grab one of those. We put in new upper control arms.
Upper control arms.
For the rear suspension. And I'm glad I had Charlie helping me because it was really fiddly, right? Like way in there. Really hard to get a wrench on every one of those bolts.
Definitely.
But Cadillac parts are cheap right now. Like they're not usually. But right now Rock Auto is getting rid of all this stuff because it's a 2006 CTS. If you've got a 2006, 2005 to 2007 or whatever it is, CTS and you're changing these, one thing you'll find is that when you try to take this bolt out, it hits the trunk, the well for the spare wheel. And so we just drilled 2 big holes in the trunk. Saved ourselves a lot of pain. That we made
there.
for the... That's great, eh?
Yeah.
So, okay. Okay, so the plan now is we got to, well, I polished one wheel, and it's looking pretty good. Well, Jack polished most of it, and I put that on. We got the undercarriage on, right? And we got these back bumper mounts. We got them on yesterday. So we've got splash pans to put on, front and back. We've got the front bumper mounts to put on, the front grille can go in. Then we can start wiring up things like tail lights, headlights, signal lights. Yeah, man, that's a lot of stuff, but it's going to be fun. So I think, honestly, we are finished crawling under this car. Like we spent yesterday under there on our backs. Yeah, it's just too much, eh? And yeah, I had to go to the auto wreckers and get a new gauge cluster. Here's the old gauge cluster. Nothing wrong with it except the temperature gauge didn't work. Hard to trace, you know, like hard to figure out. So I put a new sensor in the engine, thought that would fix it, didn't fix it. Went and got a new gauge cluster from a 2007 Cadillac. So interesting, if you turn this one, plug this one in, turn it on, this car has 247 or something thousand kilometers on it, but the new gauge cluster only has 124,000. So now the car is way newer than it used to be. That we got this on everything. It comes off real easy. It's just the overspray from the paint, eh? From the, well, it's not overspray, it's the dust. But it'll all come off. Okay, so rock and roll. What do you want to do first? The other thing we're doing is finding parts. I can't find the chrome strip or the stainless strip that goes on this side. And it has a special hole cut in it for the transmission for that wiper. So we're going to have to look around and find that. I've got 2 for the other side, none for this side. But I've got it already somewhere and I can't remember. I was going to take it to Thailand and get it welded, but I don't think I ever did. Oh yeah, we got to put all these in. Man, Charlie, there's a lot of stuff we can do. We better get cracking.
Yeah.
Okay, will it go in? Careful, very gently. Then this big hand comes into the picture. Grabs some popcorn. Backs up. Whoa. Oh, there it is right there. Sorting out these wiring harnesses at the back and hooking up signal lights, tail lights, brake lights, license plate light, and a third brake light. And I labeled these when I took the Cadillac apart. So this one says trunk backup, license plate, brake, lights, and this is the trunk release. The trunk release plugs in to this side. So this is going to have to run up into the trunk lid, and then the middle brake light wire is going to have to run up into that package tray there area so that we can mount the brake light in that inside the window. So I've got a couple of car atmosphere lights, just red bars, and I think this will mount inside the window. A lot of times on these LED lights you got to make sure which one's red and which one's black. Yeah, it's called the third brake light on here. I don't see any where it says positive and negative. I know on the little signal lights that I'm putting in here, they are black to positive, white to ground. Yeah, must be a Chinese thing. Well, this one's super intelligent. Yeah, no reflection on the way we're putting this together. All right, so we've got the original Cadillac lights, and the beauty of that is you plug it in. Okay, just hold on. Okay, stay right there, Jack. I've got to show you these lights. Okay.
Yep, I turned on.
Okay, and this one.
Yep.
And everything works. So now we're just going to rip this wiring harness apart. I've got ABS wires in here and a whole pile of wires that I don't need. The sunroof, the communications, telephone, all that kind of stuff. Even the lights in the visors, the speakers that are mounted in the A-pillars, and yeah, a lot of junk like that. So we will just simply take these wiring harnesses apart like so and use the wires that we need, and then we're gonna, after everything's working, we will then eliminate all of the extra junk and there's going to be lots of it. Now what happens is a lot of these wiring harnesses can be made shorter for some parts, and obviously going to have to be longer for other parts. Cutting these without cutting into the insulation on any of the wires. Go carefully, right? Oh yeah. Wire ties hooked onto here. Pretty gooey actually. And look at the mess of wires. Not just a few. And the wires going to the ABS brakes, I've got them all hooked up on both sides. I actually made plugs for them so that they can be connected and disconnected. I don't know why I ever have to disconnect them, but I probably want to shorten those as well. I don't know, I just don't like having a whole lot of extra wire running everywhere that's not being used. And so yeah, let's just slice all of this beautiful wrapping. Get to where we can skinny it down. Probably right about there. Yeah, it'd be nice to get all this cleaned up. Spend a lot of hours, you know, fooling around with these little jobs, but it's worth it in the end because you get a nice, neat product. I've got the wiring diagrams that brother-in-law Dave, right, who is my go-to reference, printed out at the college where he was working as a mechanics instructor. But really happy and helpful to have the wiring diagram. It tells you the colors of everything that goes to whatever module, you know, like the tail brake and all those kind of things. And once you've got those colored wires, it's amazing. You find that wire and sure enough, the tail lights come on. So that's really handy. And then it lets me know that I can get rid of all the others. Look at this, eh? What is there? 30 wires in there? There's probably a bunch more here too. So let's say, man, I don't know. So 39 and 35 is 60. 74. Okay, so we've got, on this harness right here, we've got 74 wires coming from that fuse box under the seat back into the trunk. And we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need 9. Only 9 are doing anything. Same on the other side of the car. We've got a huge wiring harness. Probably not as many, probably about 30 wires. And we're using the same amount. No, a few more for ABS. For some reason, that side has more. Oh no, that goes to the fuel sender. So that's on there as well. So basically what I've done is identify the wires that we're using and mark them up at the front so that I can cut out all of the extras and eliminate them. And this whole gob of stuff can go. And then we'll have a nice, simple, slick wiring harness. So you've got ABS, trunk release button, the left tail light assembly, there's 3 lights on that, and then the trunk interior light and the brake light, or the backup light, and the license plate light. Okay, so that's basically all the lights. Now, there's also an airbag that was up in this part of the car that we have to identify, and we can cut that out, but we need to mark it and put a 3 ohm resistor. So it's 2 wires, and I'm just going to follow it from the back. Make it shorter, put the resistor up here somewhere, it's fine. This here, this is the airbag connections. That they look like they got this little orange thing on them. And simply, it's 2 wires. We're going to cut them off down here, follow them down here, find out where they go. Because we have to put in a 3 ohm resistor across these wires. Because we're not going to use it. And where's my yellow tape? Here we are. So we will just label this airbag. Let's start eliminating wires here. Ooh, big purple wire. That must be the rear window defroster. 49 Chevs don't have one of those. There's going to be lots of these black with a white line on them, ground wires, and we can just, I don't know, I guess we can leave those in place. Being careful, of course, not to snip the ones that you need. Okay. There, that's thinned that out pretty good. Now we'll just go back there and pull them all out. Okay, so we can pull whatever. Some of these actually just turn around and go somewhere else. Okay, that's connected. That's a good one. This is a good one. This is a good one. I don't know what that is. This is a good one. What is that? Where does that go? Oh yeah, okay. Goes up there to the lid. Okay, and that's what we've ended up with. That's all we need. The rest of these are goners. That's going to neatly fit in there. We'll wrap that up once we get done. So the deal is we're getting this simplified. And yeah, we got lots of wire left over we can use for something else. But remember, we're making a car without spending any money on it. Well, much anyway. So there's a ton of wires in this old Cadillac. And they were all going to the right place already. Yeah. I didn't have an extra $1,000 to spend on a wiring harness, which would have been way more work than just using the wiring out of the donor car. So that's what we're doing. We're just skinning it down to basically all we have left is what we need. And we'll make sure that all the lights work. They're starting to work good. Yeah, that's going to be the deal.